Welcome to Daily Fantasy Shorts, where we're always on point and to the point. This week's value pick video will feature 7 golfers for your DK lineups, which we project will outperform their respective prices on DraftKings. Please be sure to stick to the end of the video because we're going to also provide you with 4 contrarian picks, which just might be the key to the slate this week. This week on DraftKings, I feel like they did a really good job with pricing. All these players are priced appropriately, and I really want to get to some players in the 9 and 10,000 price range. In order for me to do that, we got to scrape some value out of this slate. So we took a look at 4 criteria. I invite you to go back to yesterday's video and take a look at those criteria, but for the sake of time, we're going to skip that for now, and we're going to go straight to the list, which, as I remind you, will always be players under 8,500. The list actually starts with Luke List at 8,400. He recently went from 10th to 7th in strokes gained off the tee from the previous week to this week. What that tells me is he's locked in off the tee, and we're really going to want some players who can get the ball out there, give us some shots at eagles this week on this course. He's also 25th in birdie or better percentage from 175 yards to 200 yards. We're going to hear that distance a lot this week. That's sort of the sweet spot approach this week, that distance. So I have no issue getting to Luke List at 8,400. Secondly, Aaron Wise at 8,300. He's in the top 40 for strokes gained off the tee, so he can put it out there as well. He's ranked 22nd in birdie or better percentage in that same sweet spot distance, 175 to 200. And if we look at his form, he's really sort of coming into form over these last 2 tournaments. So I like that as well at 8,300. Charles Schwartzel is 8,100, and he's ranked 9th in green and regulation from 175 to 200 yards. Not to mention he's finally coming into form after almost a year of not making too many top 25s. So I like the recent form. I like the high ranking green and regulation and the price at 8,100 on DraftKings. That brings us to my favorite pick for value of the week. It's Cameron Champ at 8,000. I think that's a great price and a steal. He's ranked very highly in 3 of our categories that we were evaluating this week, which are as follows. He went from 15th to 8th in green and regulation from 175 to 200. He's currently ranked 11th stroke gain off the tee, so he can put it out there as well. And he's ranked 1st in birdie or better from 175 to 200, that sweet spot distance again. So I'm all over Cam Champ this week at 8,000. I hope I don't get burned, but he's going to be in a lot of my lineups, definitely. Charles Howell III is 7,800 on DraftKings. He's ranked 34th in par 4 efficiency from 450 to 500 yards. He's also 26th in strokes gained off the tee, so he can also put it out there. His form is coming. It's rounding into form over the last few tournaments as well. I think he's a good price, and he's going to get into a few of my lineups as well. And we also have Ben Martin at 7,400. I sort of stuttered there because I haven't put Ben Martin in the lineup in quite some time. But he's rounding into form as well. This is interesting. His par 4 efficiency on 450 to 500 was ranked 77th prior to last weekend. After this previous tournament, it's ranked 44th. So that tells me that he's really improving on that distance, that 450 to 500 range that we're locked in on this week. At 7,400, take a few shares of him this week on DraftKings. Lastly, for a value picks, we have Scott Piercy at 7,100. He's ranked 25th in par 4 efficiency from 450 to 500 yards, and Scott Piercy tends to be a bit streaky. He's been playing well, and I want to ride the hot streak this week on DraftKings at 7,100. Here at Daily Fantasy Shorts, one of our main focuses is contrarian play. It's essential to win GPPs, and it's my personal favorite part of DFS. I love doing the deep dive research into these low-priced players to find a gem that's going to take us to the top of the GPP leaderboard week in and week out. So let's hop to it. Our 4 contrarian plays this week are James Hahn at 7,100 on DraftKings. He's in the top 20 in greens and regulation from 175 to 200, that sweet spot we were talking about again and again. He's 6th in par 4 efficiency from 450 to 500. He's really qualifying in 2 of our categories. The only reason he's not on the value picks this week is because his form has been a little poor lately. But he does have course history on this, as he played in the Korn Ferry Tour tournament in 2012. So maybe we can capitalize on a little bit of course history and a little bit of luck that he snaps back in form. But for a contrarian pick at 7,100, James Hahn is worth a look. Number 2 is Anirban Lahiri, 6,800 on DraftKings. He's currently ranked 11th in birdie or better from 175 to 200 yards. That critical price, that critical distance once again. He's also got a second place finish his previous start before the last one. So we can hope that he's still showing some of that form this week. Kang at 6,500 is our third contrarian pick. We're getting into the lower price range here, but I have no issue going to Kang. Here's why. He's a member at this course, and this is kind of ironic. He's the defending champ of this tournament, but the interesting thing is that they didn't play last year due to COVID, so he's had a year off to defend this championship. But give him some ambition to defend that championship, and playing at basically a home course, I'm in on Kang for 6,500 on DraftKings. And lastly, the deepest dive of the week is Fabian Gomez at 6,000 on DraftKings. That's the bare minimum, folks. He is number one in par 4 efficiency from 450 to 500 yards. So that was interesting for me to look at and uncover in our research this week, is that he was very highly rated in that category. This is a dart throw. He doesn't hit in the other categories, but if he's going to be hitting on those distances this week, I'll take a stab at him. Not to mention he did finish 15th in February. Late February, which was his last PGA start. So let's hope for some magic out of Fabian Gomez at 6,000 on DraftKings. As always, thank you for joining us so much. I hope we got a lot from both of our videos from yesterday and today. We really want to make sure that we're delivering all of our information quickly, concisely to you, and that it's the best info that you can find for your time. Again, thanks again. Please like and subscribe our YouTube channel, and join us again next week. We'll have plenty of more content coming. Thank you.